About 2,000 guests were allowed inside Westminster Abbey for the funeral, but that represented only a small fraction of those who gathered to say farewell to the Queen today. Hundreds of thousands lined the streets. Others came together in places like Hyde Park to watch the event on large screens. Cynthia Mulligan with how people from all walks of life were drawn together as one.
I have something to tell to my grandchildren that I witnessed this history.
This is the iconic Hyde Park. It is a meeting place for Londoners. They come here to watch concerts. Tens of thousands gathered here to watch Harry and Meghan's wedding. And today they gather again for the Queen's funeral. They could all be watching the funeral at home, but they chose to be here.
I didn't want to be at home watching it on the TV. I wanted to be in the moment, yeah.
Does it make you feel more part of it to be out here?
Yeah, I think it's quite important to be here to pay respect.
They joined together, feeling the need to show their admiration for the Queen.
To me, in my heart, I feel the Queen is probably the greatest British and Canadian monarch in the history.
They rose together when the coffin entered Westminster Abbey. They sang together. And they prayed together during the Lord's Prayer.
But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever.
This man is here from London, Ontario.
It really is a momentous occasion. I mean, she's the only queen that we've ever known. And today, to think of somebody, a leader that would have dedicated their life to duty and service, I don't think we have that anymore. And so we have 4 children, and so be able to talk about that with our kids, to be able to say, you know, this is an example of somebody who dedicated their life to duty and service, working 2 days before she died at 96. You know, that's something for you to think about.
Even though they were gathered outside, it felt like they were all inside a church. The mood was hushed and somber. Perhaps this was giving them a needed release after almost 2 weeks of mourning.
I think a lot of people will go back to how things were. It will be the King's speech for the first time this year at Christmas. So I think those sorts of moments people will be thinking about and looking at and starting to think about the tenure of a new king and, of course, a new Prime Minister.
But this day is all about paying tribute to the Queen and her long reign.
It's really emotional. I cried when, I guess there was the 2-minute silence.
They were of all ages, and for some, today's impressions will last a long lifetime. Do you think you're going to remember this forever, coming here today?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Some people stayed to the very end of the funeral, unable to turn away. They wanted to watch every last moment. Many here have been here for over 8 hours.